Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Welcome back to another match reaction as Manchester City win yet another game. This machine marches on and on and on, and I absolutely love it. City were fantastic tonight. Well, they weren't fantastic actually, they were professional. Sometimes a game isn't about the glitz and the glamour and blowing teams away. Sometimes it's about turning up, being focused and getting the job done when you needed to get the job done. And that's what this City side did tonight, and I was very impressed with their effort, their conviction and their focus against a very tricky team to play against. Tonight, to me, of course, was all about this title, this Cancelo culture, this wonderful, gifted, fantastic footballer, this mesmeric, Cruyffian footballer. And what I mean by that, a total footballer. I thought he was brilliant tonight. He didn't get the assist, he didn't get the goals, but I thought he was absolutely special. And of course, there was many good performances around him. But by the way, I want to say, if you are interested in t-shirts like this Cancelo culture, there is a link in the description below and in the pinned comment as well if you're watching this live. I've made a whole bunch of merch, which I've not really mentioned to extent on the videos, but I've made Bernardo t-shirts, Rodri t-shirts, Cancelo t-shirts, Cole Palmer ones, so you can check them out with the Teespring in the link in the description below if you want to get yourself some merch. It's just a little bit of fun, but no worries if not. But I'm enjoying this t-shirt today. I wore this morning when I went for a walk with Nicola, and I was like, I had a feeling it'd be useful today, and it was. So check them out if you want to in the link in the description below for some wonderful Manchester City merch. But either way, that was a good performance, man. It was a good performance. Christian there, member Christian saying, good win, man of the match for me was KDB, come on City. KDB, of course, we'll get on to in a second, but KDB always up there. And KDB, once again, finding his form. Slowly but surely, he got there. At the moment, KDB looks excellent. But for me, the story of this match was more consolidating any perceived nerves after, I guess, people panicking a little bit the other day. You know, I say the other day, about 2.5 weeks ago when we drew against Southampton, people worrying that maybe we'd start to slow down, that maybe we'd seen the best of Manchester City, that maybe actually people were going to catch up with us and all this kind of stuff. Well, it looks like that wasn't the case, and this City team are ready to march on and roll on and roll on. Genuinely lovely stuff. Guys, could you all be a massive favour, by the way, and go over to my Twitter and retweet the latest live video tweet? It'd be massively appreciated. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'd be massively appreciated. It does help support the channel and absolute loads. And of course, as well, I want to say thank you as well to Peter, the latest super chat. Peter saying, a nice birthday present from the Algerian Prince and King Kevin. How have you been? I'm good, mate. It's my 8-year anniversary today with my beautiful wife Nicola. So after this video, I'm going to wind down with Nicola. But what a present. Happy birthday to Peter. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday to you. A lovely birthday present. But thank you so much, Peter. For me, this game was just about essentially just seeing it out. You know, not every game will be fantastic. Not every game will be flawless. There will be mistakes made here and there. But that's absolutely fine. Guardiola understands this. Guardiola understands the need to be pragmatic every now and then. And that's what we got from this team. It was an interesting lineup, of course, as well. As you can see scrolling down the bottom, we saw Cancelo. I thought, when I made this at the bottom here, this thing, I thought Laporte would be at left back. It turns out Cancelo was at left back and Stones was at right back with Laporte alongside Diaz, which was interesting. Stones, of course, playing as a kind of Kyle Walker-esque inverted fullback, sitting there and just kind of drifting to midfield every now and then and playing some passes. And he was really good, man. He was genuinely good. I'm not sure why Walker didn't play. I'd be guessing, and I'm sure Guardiola will say afterwards, but all I know is that whatever happened, it worked today, and it worked. City were genuinely good, you know. It all seemed to make an awful lot of sense. He was really good in that kind of slightly inverted sitting deep position, John Stones. He had an excellent game, all things considered. And Cancelo, maybe that's why he played Stones there as opposed to Laporte at fullback, because Cancelo at left back today was just sensational. I mean, Cancelo culture for me. I love his absolute conviction in how good he's getting in general. Like, Cancelo seems to be able to play football in any position at any times. If that had gone in, that dribble, by the way, that goal, it would have been absolutely special. The way he just drifted past 3 or 4 players, turned into Messi for a second, that footwork and the intricacy, and his just general composure, the chances he created. A wonderful footballer. And across the pitch, it wasn't the kind of game where the forwards absolutely shone, but they were still useful and effective, you know. I thought Foden showed some intelligent movements as a false nine. Sterling, once again, absolutely decisive in terms of creating a big moment for Manchester City, winning yet another penalty, the most in the Premier League, apparently, Sterling has won. Most in the history of the Premier League, maybe. But either way, Sterling once again won us a penalty, and Mahrez once again stepped up and put it away in the top corner this time. We actually have a penalty taker, Riyad Mahrez. It's crazy, genuinely. I never thought we'd see the day when we have a penalty taker, and I'm not nervous, but this is what we've got now. Mahrez is actually a good penalty taker, and it's a joy to behold. We have someone we can trust, someone we can rely on, and it's Riyad Mahrez. Kevin De Bruyne got yet another goal. He's picked up a few goals recently, KDB. And it was just him alive, reacting really quickly to deflected a save from Sterling effort after another Brentford mistake, for what it's worth. Brentford were actually pretty decent today. They had a few half moments. They just kind of shot themselves in the foot, and I will not complain about that. I will take that personally. They did shoot themselves in the foot, but you have to take your chances, man. You have to take your chances, and Manchester City did that today. De Bruyne. One thing I love about De Bruyne, he's really found his energy again. He really, really has. It's something you need to see, because at one point, De Bruyne looked a bit old and a bit tired, and there was question marks about whether he had his fitness anymore, but of course he did. He's KDB. Just give him a few games and you'll find the confidence. Legend, James, you absolute legend, with a super chat saying, like, subscribe, and other good things. Yeah, well, he's not wrong, is he? I'm going to leave that on screen for a second. Do hit that like button and do subscribe. And do other good things, man. Just do good things. Like Legend. James is an absolute legend. I think it was Jason was asking, will I be having a fan view live? Not tonight, but I will be starting that again very, very soon. Not tonight, just because it's my anniversary, so I want to spend some time with my wife. But the fan view live will be coming back from the next game onwards. Absolutely. I cannot wait to start doing it as well. Maybe after Norwich game. But you're a legend. Legend, absolute legend. Cancelo culture. That's it. You've got it. That's it. MMG, you've got it there. It's just also sounds really cool, because we all subscribe to the Cancelo culture, don't we? What a wonderful, wonderful footballer. But City tonight, I'll go over to the stats actually. Let's have a look at the stats. Let me find the stats of tonight's game. Hang on. Let me get it on screen. Hang on. Let's have a look at tonight's stats. I'll jump over to here. Oops, that's not lined up, is it? Let's have a look. So here we go. So 15 shots to their 6. 7 shots on target to their 2. 76% possession. 706 passes to their 228. Which is, to be frank, quite ridiculous. It really is a ridiculous accomplishment. Like, that's just genuinely stupid. City are a stupid side. 88% pass accuracy to their 59%, 7 fouls, and then 2 offsides to their 10. And of course, there is the Premier League table right now. 24 games played for us, 60 points, 57 goals. Of course, goal difference of 43, which is the best in the league. Liverpool are currently 12 points behind, but they've got 2 games in hand. Of course, I think they play Leicester, is it, this week? Either way, Chelsea are currently 13 points behind, the same amount of games played. They're done there. Obviously, United there 21 points behind. Mind the gap, Man United. But either way, things look really good for us. There was that one moment which underlined the passes where we played about 30 passes, which ended a Cancelo thunderbolt, which unfortunately was deflected over. But if that had gone in, it would have been something else entirely. But City statistically, absolutely, it's just not even close. Genuinely not even close. It was really, really, really impressive from Manchester City tonight. It's the kind of thing you want to see, really, isn't it? Genuinely, just lovely, lovely stuff. City just absolutely miles better than their challengers. And we've reached a level now where, you know, this team, you kind of just genuinely have to trust them. You have to trust them. I look at the heat maps here, by the way. I went on Who Scored and look at the heat maps. It's genuinely a little bit ridiculous. City's just absolutely smothering Brentford with all the touches. 871 touches to 384 for Brentford. Quite spectacular. City dominating all parts of the area. Genuinely, as you can see there, just literally smothering Brentford. But that's what City do. That's what City do. We've seen it on Twitter recently, showing City's dominance, and there it's just more and more evident. A wonderful football team doing wonderful, wonderful things. Good night. 3 points again. Yeah, good night indeed. Liverpool dropping points tomorrow would be fantastic, but all we can do is just enjoy it. The best thing about this Manchester City side, even when they don't play the best, you still get performances like this. You still get gifted players working really, really hard for the team, and that to me is fantastic. I agree as well. De Bruyne, David said in the chat, De Bruyne was doing the role that Bernardo usually would. I thought Bernardo would have a loud game tonight, but he was pretty quiet. But De Bruyne was fantastic, like tracking back. The amount of times I saw De Bruyne at left back and at right back when he was covering for people was wonderful. He really has found his like joie de vivre again in football, and he's found his energy. Interesting, obviously, that no Grealish and Walker in the lineup. Not really sure why. I mean, it could have been a reaction to the weekend's news. But Mahrez played, but Mahrez doesn't drink. I don't know. But either way, it could also just been some changes here and there. It could have been that Guardiola's also maybe trying some things out ahead of the Lisbon game, because of course we're not going to have Kyle Walker for 3 Champions League games, and it would not be unlike Guardiola to try some new things. Ahead of those games to try and work out. And it might be Stones that gets the nod instead of Zinchenko. Because Stones, of course, has shown that he's very, very capable in that role. Defensively, obviously, Stones he's not obviously Kyle Walker on the recovery, though he has a decent turn of pace, to be fair to him. There's one moment where he did hunt down one of their forwards, but he still obviously is really he's really solid defensively, and he's intelligent tactically, a very good footballer. My man of the match, Christian, was this guy, Cancelo. Absolutely Cancelo. I thought he was creative and brilliant and wonderful. Actually, he always is, Cancelo. Genuinely, was really impressed. Grealish, when he came on, I actually thought he was good, Grealish, when he came on. As Bluey's just said in the comments as well, he was solid. He helps calm possession a lot. That's the one thing he does. Genuinely, that's the one thing he does. Grealish, when he comes on, he really, really calms things down. He really does. He's just such a steady, calm head, isn't he? He really is. And the thing is, it was no coincidence, in my opinion, that period of football we started to pass it around absolutely loads and move Brentford and did like 40 passes in a row. That was when Grealish was on the pitch, and I think that's honestly part of what makes Grealish so desirable to Guardiola, because his ball retention is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I thought Raz was good as well. Do you know what? Raz was up there. Sterling generally had a good shout. But I did go for Cancelo personally. But, you know, it wasn't a day when anyone had a 10 out of 10 performance. But it was a day where City turned up and beat a tricky team. And I'm fine with that. I mean, we've got 14 games left in the league now. 14. If we win another 8, I think we're probably going to win the league. Probably, maybe more than that, 10. 10 out of 14 and we win the league, I reckon, because Liverpool will drop points at some point. They've got 16 left to play. They will drop points in 4 or 5 games, maybe. Maybe a loss or 2 here and there, maybe 3 or 4 draws. Because they're going to at some point, mainly because it'll become too much on the pressure. Maybe they won't, but I honestly can see them starting to drop. Who was everyone else's man of the match? Do let me know in the comments. But I'm feeling really confident about this Manchester City side at the moment. I'm feeling really good about the Champions League as well. I'm not trying to jinx us, but I am genuinely feeling good about it. Guys, 250 people watching and only 70 likes. Do me a massive favour. Let's get to 60,100 subscribers, and let's get to 150 likes if you can. If you're watching this video as well now as a subscriber after it's done, after it's not been live, let's try and aim for 1,000 likes in this video in general. I would have loved to have seen McAtee and Delap, but what I will say is that Guardiola does not like to do the whole 2-0 bringing an academy player on. 3 is the magic number. I'm not sure that was about Guardiola in general, but in goals. But if you get to 3-0 lead, you will bring on academy players, but only if you get to that 3 goal. I don't know why he does it, but he did it with Foden, and he does it with Palmer, and now he'll do it with McAtee and Delap as well. I would have loved to have seen it. And I think we probably could have brought one of them on, especially McAtee, by the way, because we do definitely keep the ball really well, and he definitely does that. But, you know, it is what it is. I would have loved to have seen it, but I understand at the same time why Guardiola... It was a little bit precautionary with it, because it's just him. He's essentially saying to the senior players, get the job done. And then, actually, in a way, he's almost like kind of passing off. He's just passing off the responsibility a little bit. He really is like saying, you get on if these guys let you get on. But that's just how it is. Let's have a look from some comments. Joe Rogan getting Cancelo across the pond. Yeah. The man of match for me is KDB, says Geomat Tech. Let's have a look. What's everyone else said? In general, yeah, Cancelo is a bargain now. Like, he really is. I mean, it's crazy what we've got. We've got such an intelligent, fantastic footballer. He didn't get the assist tonight, but Cancelo, there's just the intelligence to his game. Technically, I knew Cancelo was good, but I didn't know he was technically this good. Like, I didn't know he'd become to a level where he's just mesmerically gifted. Like, he was a great attacking fullback at Juventus and so on, but I didn't think he'd be this I think his technique has gone up a level. His composure, his passing, his vision, his touch, his awareness, his feet. He's got better and better. And it's down to confidence, if we're being totally honest. He seems to have got better and better and better. Cancelo culture, indeed. Always, Tyrone. Always, once again. If you found this t-shirt, by the way, it is in the pinned comment currently at the moment. Swap deal for Danilo. Of course, we put 30 million towards it as well. Danilo's a good player, by the way, but this is one hell of an upgrade. 30 million plus Danilo for Cancelo. It's more than that. Is Cancelo now just... is he just a left back? Like, genuinely, like he's good at right back, but don't get me wrong, I prefer him at left back these days. I mean, it's just the way he sees the whole pitch and he gets to cut inside and make those passes. Honestly, I honestly don't feel he's a right back anymore. Of course, he can play there, but the best part of Cancelo, we talk about needing a left back, but it doesn't feel like we do, does it? Does it feel like we do? Who honestly craves a left back anymore? It'd be nice to have one, maybe. For me, honestly, I'm just fine with Cancelo being there and being the option. That's for me is the... Maybe we need another right back. Maybe that's the option now. We have Cancelo. we have Zinchenko, and then maybe we need a backup right back. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe. We'll have to see. Always been on the back, Rodri. Always been on the back, but Rodri movement falling in love with him more and more. Do you know what? No, Rodri is getting better and better as well. I absolutely agree. Rodri just doesn't really have bad games, does he, anymore? Touchwood once again and all that kind of stuff. But Rodri just doesn't have bad games because he's a fantastic footballer. He really, really is. Thoughts on upcoming Champions League games? I'm very confident in Adrian. And why shouldn't we be confident? City are a better team than Lisbon. Sporting, sorry. And that's not in a negative way. It's just a matter of fact. And they're the very good side, of course, with some good players and they'll cause us trouble. But City are, on paper, a better side. And if we turn up and play at our potential, we should win that game. Especially over two ties. I actually thought Foden was alright today, Hamza, but I know what you're getting at. Foden's not really found his best form this season, but Guardiola did say that great players, they only become great after they have a quiet spell. And he did say that in terms of you start and you... Foden was always about breaking in and bursting onto the scene. Now he's done that. I think Foden's kind of not cruising a little bit, but he's kind of got to where he wanted to be. But now he has to find the next step and the next aim, and that's what Foden will do. Foden will have a slightly quiet season because he's finally achieved what he tried to achieve in getting into the first team and being a regular. But then he will come back. And he'll find his next level to aim for, his next goal. His goal was never to be the best attacking midfielder in Europe. It was just to get into the Manchester City team. And now his goal does need to go up another level. And it could be after injuries and COVID or whatever. It could be that he's just in a bit of a weird moment at this age. But either way, Guardiola said that great players always have a spell where they drop a little bit, but then they find their form again. All the greats do it, man. All the greats have quiet spells. But Foden, as Bluey's just said, he's still could have had a couple of more assists in his recent games. Foden... I think he was fine today. I thought his movement was good. Not at his scintillating best, but, still a wonderful footballer. And I still remember it was pretty much him creating chaos that led to a goal in the previous game as well. So, overall, I think City are in a good position. Foden will stop playing as well as a striker when we sign a striker. So, Foden will go back out wide again, or he'll go back in the middle. That's the thing. So, Foden next season will be a midfielder or a winger. He won't be a striker anymore because we'll have... Hopefully, Haaland, but we'll have Alvarez at very least, and I think eventually we'll start to see him through in his natural positions. I would say more natural positions. So that's what I reckon we'll see. Gio, I think in general you're right roughly about Cancelo shooting quite often. But what I will say is that I actually don't mind Cancelo shooting from distance every now and then because I think there's some slight power in it. I think there is. With Cancelo shooting from a distance, you got to bear in mind it makes people. If he's got a reputation of being a long range shooter, which he is, and he's good at it too, what you end up getting is you get the fear from the oppositions. They genuinely get a little bit nervous that he's going to do something. So they back up basically. They go towards him and he creates space for everyone else. So he gets a reputation as a guy who's good at long range shots. It means people don't. He creates spaces for other players because they close him down a little bit quicker. So I don't mind him. And Rodri can hit him as well, as Jeremy's pointed out. Get a reputation as a team that will score from long range and they'll close you down because they have to, which means there's space for everyone else. So KDB has scored a few this season. I mean, how many's he scored now, KDB? Let's have a look. Let me search De Bruyne's stats. He scored a few this season. I'll go and get De Bruyne stats myself up. Let's have a look. I'm going to who scored now. Hang on. Here we go. On to who scored. De Bruyne's stats there. Let's have a look. He's got 7 goals in 13. 7 in 13 is that? I mean, I have to zoom in a little bit there so you'll be able to see it. But there we go. 7 Premier League goals in 13 games. Is that accurate as of today? But either way, he scored quite a few this season. He's more of a goal scorer this year. He scored more goals than assists. Only 5 assists this season for KDB. But either way, you know, he's affecting the game in different ways. But it's a different role for him this season. He feels slightly different. But either way, De Bruyne is wonderful, as we all know. A beautiful player. 13 starts in 18 games, yeah. Roger and Cancelo need to shoot a bit more. Well, maybe more, according to Brad. That's interesting. Already 1 more goal than last year for KDB. I'm just happy that KDB is starting to find his rhythm again. He really is. He's starting to look like KDB. His game's slightly evolved. Maybe he isn't quite as good a passer as he was, but overall, KDB is he is obviously as good a passer. But what I mean is, like, it's not about those clinical through balls. Maybe it's because we haven't got a striker or something like that. I don't really know. Maybe it obviously will help when you've got a more instinctive forward runner for someone to aim for, because we have players that drop deep. We haven't got an Aguero there to aim for or something like that. So Foden's not often in the middle. Maybe that's it. Maybe we've got Haaland. Maybe KDB will unlock his passing again. Super chat. I love a good super chat. Thank you so much. It really does support the channel. Of course, I try and get to all the super chat and member comments because it's the very least I can do. But either way, Envy with a super chat saying, important to win. Come on, City, indeed. That's the thing, actually. It is an important win. And not because we were under immense pressure. It was because we needed to, after a big break in the Premier League, a very big break, of course. If Southampton game a long time ago now, we needed just to assuage any fears and calm any nerves. I don't think City were really under any, but when your last game was a long time ago and it was a draw, people started asking questions again, saying, like, is the title race back on and all this kind of stuff. We needed today just to sort things out, you know what I mean? Just to essentially just be like, nope, it's still very much in our hands. 12 points clear. Of course, Liverpool will still have to play a couple of games, but you're right. It was an important win. Come on, City, indeed. Envy, absolute legend. Absolutely appreciate. Thank you so much for the super chat. His passing has relaxed a little bit, but it'll be back. It'll be back to its very best, I reckon. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button. Don't forget, if you want a CANCELO Culture t-shirt, you can find it in the pinned comment or over my Teespring in the link in the description below. Have a wonderful night. It's my anniversary with Nicola today, 8 years. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of it. I've got an hour and a half left, so I'm going to go and watch that. Watch that when I was thinking of just like, I need to watch something together is what I was going to say. Thank you very much for watching. You're all absolutely awesome. Is Logan a great film? It's a wonderful film, Logan. I got that at Comic-Con. So I was asked about Logan. It's a wonderful film. Me and Nicola really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool poster as well. For now, you're all awesome. Netflix and chill. Nicola will fall asleep. She's knackered, if I'm being honest. But you'll be watching a film and relaxing as opposed to the chill bit, maybe. We'll see. Good night, guys. You're all absolutely awesome. Love you all loads. In a bit, like, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye.